All right, guys, in this video, we're going to continue looking at the properties of parallelograms. Now, if you're taking notes, I would put this in our notes. There are three rules we've talked about so far. We've talked about how opposite sides are parallel, opposite angles are congruent, and consecutive angles are supplementary. Remember, consecutive, that's a fancy word for angles next to each other. If you're consecutive means back to back or next to each other. So angles next to each other are supplementary. And remember, supplementary means they add up to 180. Okay, so we'd add them together to set them equal to 180. So let's do one review problem here. Let's say I have this parallelogram. And I'm solving for x and y. So remember, angles opposite each other are equal. So this one right here would be 63. And then angles next to each other, so like these two are next to each other, I'm going to do 180 minus 63, and I get 117 as an answer, 117. So that's a nice review. Remember, angles opposite each other are congruent. Angles next to each other add up to 180. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to add one more step in here that's going to mix things up a little bit. Now, sometimes we draw diagonals in our parallelograms. So like this one, it's a parallelogram. We have these diagonals. So I know these sides are parallel to each other. They go in the same direction. These sides are parallel. They go in the same direction. The question is, what is x equal to? Is it equal to 55 or is it equal to 46? So let me tell you, when you're running into these problems, the angle that x is equal to is the alternate interior angle from these parallel lines. Now, if you don't remember from parallel lines dealing with alternate interior angles, let me kind of show you what pair that is. That's this pair down here and this pair up here. One way to think about it is we go down the line and we jump across. Slide down the line, jump across, or slide up the line, jump across. So we want the angle all the way opposite, so it's not equal to 55 with parallelograms. X is equal to 46, okay? The 55 would go over here if you needed the 55, if you needed that angle over there. So don't get confused. Sometimes kids like to take this 55 and put it down here. We can't do that. We slide down, jump across. Let's look at one more problem you might run into. All right, so we've got another parallelogram. We've got 25, we've got x, we've got 120. We've got a lot of stuff going on in here. Now, if you wanted to, you could solve for all the different angles. You could jump the 120 over here and do all that. We're just going to focus on solving for x. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to deal with this 25. What else is equal to that 25? I slide down my line, I jump across, I get right here. That one right there is equal to 25. All right, so I've got 120, I've got 25, and I've got x. So what I'm going to do is I notice that this right here, what shape is that? It's a triangle, right? And how many degrees are in a triangle? It's one of the things we should know for sure. There are 180 degrees in a triangle. So what we're going to do is we're going to do 180 minus 120, and I get 60. I'm going to do minus 25, and what I get is 35 degrees. Okay, so don't take the shortcut and try to just say it's equal to 25 because it's next to 25. Okay. What we're going to do is we're going to solve for all the angles in one of the triangles and then subtract from 180. So this should give you enough information to do the CUDA software assignment and be able to do a good job on the solving for angles for parallelograms.